Community Probation Centre. This is where people do PD, community service. They've done something wrong. Here we have a lawyer with his trolley.
Okay, so on a day, it will be our first trial day. And so what happens is that
Let's go. No entry. Public entrance is the next one. There's the camera there. Yeah,
Who are you and what are you doing?
I'm filming the signs on your door
No,
at the moment.
I'm sorry, you have to have permission to do that.
By
Where have
who?
you got permission from?
By
From the
who?
court manager.
I'm on
Okay,
a
so
public
you,
sidewalk here.
it doesn't
I'm not
matter,
in the
you're not
court.
filming public property. This is a courthouse, you need permission.
Courthouse is
Okay.
public property.
Are you going to argue with me? I can get the police to explain that to you, sir.
There's nothing to argue.
Okay, well then stop filming because there's public that come out and that's their privacy that needs to be protected.
You're aware
Are
there's
you
no...
going to argue with me, sir? Because I will.
I'm going to ask you a question.
No,
Are you aware there's no expectation of privacy in public?
Listen, there are people that are coming out of the court that do not wish to be filmed.
It's a public courthouse, correct?
Okay.
I fail to see what your issue is.
Okay, don't worry about it. I've told
Okay,
you.
I won't. Bye-bye.
Oh, you're not going to wait for the police?
Am I being detained in
Do you
some
want
way?
to wait for the police to come and tell
Am
you
I
to
being
ask you
detained?
questions about this?
Am I being
Don't argue
detained?
with me, sir.
I'm not arguing, I'm
Please.
asking you a question.
So
Do you
you're
not
gonna wait
understand
for
the
the
difference
police?
between an argument and a question?
Sure, yourself.
Okay.
Oh, you're going now.
I might come backwards and forwards. I have the freedom of movement to go backwards and
wait for
forwards
the
on a
police.
river.
I
Why
won't
would I
argue
need to
with
wait
you.
for the police for?
Oh, you just seem to want to film in here.
I've filmed
told you.
right around Henderson
End of
for the
story.
last hour.
I've
So what's
told
your
you,
problem?
Stop filming.
You
Hey,
have
you're
no
gonna stop?
authority over me on a public
Yeah,
sidewalk.
police will come in a minute, right?
Yeah, and they have no authority either unless I've committed
well,
an
wait
offence.
till you can tell them.
I don't need to tell them. I've
Let's
been
see.
through it with the police
Okay.
many a time.
Let's see.
It's perfectly okay to record in
they
public.
come. It's all right.
Okay.
Oh, you're not going to wait.
No, I have no need to, and you have no lawful authority.
Don't film me.
I'll just do some more then. If that's your problem, I'll keep filming. That's ridiculous. But do you guys give news crews this much grief when they're here covering a story? Do you? Do you give news crews grief when they're out here covering a story on a public sidewalk?
Don't answer, hun.
Okay. Whatever. We'll let the little girl roll it.
Who are you and what are you doing?
I'm filming the signs on your door at the
No,
moment.
I'm sorry, you have to have permission to do that.
By
Where have
who?
you got permission from?
By
From the
who?
court manager.
I'm on a
so
public
you-
sidewalk here.
It
I'm
doesn't
not
matter,
in the
you're not
court.
filming public property. This is a courthouse, you need permission.
Courthouse is
Okay.
public property.
Are you going to argue with me? I can get the police to explain that to you, sir.
There's nothing to argue.
Okay, well then stop filming, because there's public that come out and that's their privacy that needs to be protected.
You're aware
Are
there's
you
no...
going to argue with me, sir? Because I will...
I'm going to ask you a question.
No,
Are you aware there's no expectation of privacy in public?
Listen, there are people that are coming out of the court that do not wish to be filmed.
The public court.
Okay.
Correct.
Are you going
I
to
fail to see what your issue is.
Okay, don't worry about it. I've told
Okay, I won't. Bye-bye.
Oh, you're not going to wait for the police?
Am I being detained in
You
some
want to
reason?
wait for the police to come and chat to you?
Am I
You
being
asking
detained?
questions about this.
Am I being
Don't argue
detained?
with me, sir.
I'm not arguing, I'm
Okay.
asking you a question.
So
Do you not
you're gonna wait
understand
for
the
the
difference
police?
between an argument and a question?
Security yourselves.
Okay.
Oh, you're going now.
I might come backwards and forwards. I have the freedom of movement to go backwards and forwards on a public. Why would I need to wait for the police for?
Oh, you just seem to want to film in here.
I've filmed
told you.
right around
End
Henderson
of
for the
story.
last hour.
I've
So what's
told
your
you,
problem?
Stop filming.
You
Okay,
have
you're
no
gonna stop?
authority over me on a public
Yeah,
sidewalk.
police will come in a minute, eh?
Yeah, and they have no authority either unless I've committed an
wait
offence.
till you can tell them.
I don't need to tell them. I've been through it with the police many a time. It's perfectly okay to report in
the
public.
customs. It's all right. Oh, you're not going to wait?
No, I have no need to, and you have no lawful authority.
Don't film me.
I'll just do some more then. If that's your problem, I'll keep filming. That's ridiculous. Amber, do you guys give news crews this much grief when they're here covering a story? Do you? Do you give news crews grief when they're out here covering a story on a public sidewalk? Oh. Okay. Whatever. We'll let the little girl roll it. Yeah?
Who are you and what are you doing?
I'm filming the signs on your door.
No, I'm sorry, you have to have permission to do that.
By
Who have you
who?
got permission from? From the
who?
court manager.
I'm on a public sidewalk here.
It doesn't
I'm not
matter,
in the
you're not
court.
filming public property. This is a courthouse, you need permission.
Courthouse is
Okay.
public property.
Are you going to argue with me? I can get the police to explain that to you, sir.
There's nothing to argue.
Okay, well then stop filming, because there's public that come out and that's their privacy that needs to be protected.
You're aware
Are
there's
you
no...
going to argue with me, sir? 'Cause I will
I'm going to ask you a question. Are you aware there's no expectation of privacy in public?
Listen, there are people that are coming out of the court that do not wish to be filmed.
It's a public courthouse, correct?
Are you going
I fail to
permission?
see what your issue is.
Okay, don't worry about it. I've
Okay,
told
I
you.
won't. Bye-bye.
Oh, you're not going to wait for the police?
Am I being detained in
Do you
some
want to
reason?
wait for the police to come and chat to you?
Am I
You
being
asking
detained?
questions about this.
Am I being
Don't argue
detained?
with me, sir.
I'm not arguing, I'm
Okay.
asking you a question.
So
Do you
you're
not
gonna wait
understand
for
the
the
difference
police?
between an argument and a question?
Security yourself.
Okay.
Oh, you're going now.
I might come backwards and forwards. I have the freedom of movement to go backwards and forwards on a public. Why would I need to wait for the police for?
Oh, you just seem to want to film in here.
I've filmed
told you.
right around
End
Henderson
of
for the last
story.
hour.
I've
So what's
told
your
you,
problem?
Stop filming.
You
Okay, you're
have no
gonna stop?
authority over me on a public
Yeah,
sidewalk.
police will come in a minute, eh?
Yeah, and they have no authority either unless I've committed
well,
an
wait
offence.
till you can tell them.
I don't need to tell them. I've been through it with the police
Okay.
many a time.
Let's see.
It's perfectly okay to report in
they'll
public.
come. It's all right.
Okay.
Oh, you're not going to wait.
No, I have no need to, and you have no lawful authority.
No, don't film me.
I'll just do some more then. If that's your problem, I'll keep filming. It's ridiculous. Amber, do you guys give news crews this much grief when they're here covering a story? Do you? Do you give news crews grief when they're out here covering a story on a public sidewalk?
Don't answer, hun.
Ah.
Might be recording you.
Okay. Whatever. We'll let the little girl roll it. So as you can see, I wasn't being detained. She knew she had no authority to do that. She just didn't want to hear any answer, just demanded that I had authority, and then moved on. So that's not going to look good for the court, is it? Doesn't look good at all, especially when they have no expectation of privacy in a public place, do they? Well, they got a reaction, eh? Within 10 seconds, little stroppy comes out. So she can accept she's going to be getting a formal complaint lodged with the court in regards to the court security officer approaching me on public property, telling me I need permission to do something that I already have the right to do. None of them would answer any questions because that shows how ignorant they are of the law. They don't know how to answer the questions. They just know how to bark orders, and that's that. So, no, I'm not going to wait for the police because I have no reason to wait for the police. There's been no crime committed, no offence created, and if the police want to chase me down, they can. You know? She has no right to hinder my freedom. No right to hinder my freedom of movement whatsoever, and she knew that. That's why they couldn't put hands on me. So, fuck them. And do we see the police coming? No. Panicky little bitch. She's just got herself a YouTube star. Hopefully they can get their stuff corrected. See, most members of the public don't have an expectation of privacy when they're in public. Especially when you're in a public building like a public courthouse. I don't need permission to film inside that public courthouse just as much as outside it if it's a publicly accessible area. The only place they can believe that I'm required to ask permission to record would be actually inside the courtrooms themselves, not the courthouse. I've been through this ad infinitum with Chris from, I can't remember Chris's last name for the life of me, but Chris from the Auckland District Court about recording there. So if they're allowed to record you with their security cameras, what difference is it between me recording, especially when I'm media? You know, if you want to argue I'm not media, do many people walk around with 6 cameras? So yeah, gotta wonder, don't you?